So in the first part of the video, we have talked about a piece of information. There are two shops in the town, shop A and shop B, and we have discussed about their sales in the last 5 years. So we have discussed about how we can represent this piece of information into a tabular form. Now let's look at this same piece of information being represented as a line graph. So this is how it would look like. So let me show how we can construct a graph like this so that we will understand how to read the line graphs better. You see, in 2015, shop A sold 300 units. Whenever you see graphs like this, line graphs, visual graphs like this, first foremost, read the title of the graph, right? We have not put the title here. It should have been sales of, units, shop A, shop B, for shop A and shop B over the last 5 years. And then read the axis, x-axis and the y-axis, right? It would have been like units, and then this would be like years or something as the x-axis. They would give some title for the years and the x-axis and the y-axis so that you get a clue of what these axes are. And then if I have to construct this, right, let's say for 2015 there is a point I'll take. I'll go, what is the 2015 value? 300, right? So this is 300. So I'll pick a point like this, which is on the x-axis it should be 2015 and the y-axis it should match with 300. So what is 2016? 250. So 2016 I'll be picking here. So 250, right? So it should be matching with 250. This, and that is why this is the point. Right. Similarly for 2017 it is 400. So 2017, so it should be 400. So I should come somewhere like this. This should be my point. And then similarly for 2018 it would be 200. So 200 is here. The y value should be 200 and the x should be 2018. So this will be this. See? And then similarly 2019 is 100. So this is 100. Right. So I'll match this. So finally, once I plot the points, I just need to draw line to join and get the line graph. Right. That is how we'll do the line graphs. If I have two different pieces of information, right, like shop A sales and shop B sales, you see, blue line with a blue diamond and a orange line with a square is used to depict two different data points, right? So if I ask you in 2015 how many units did shop A sell, 2015 is this, so 2015 shop A is this point, so 300. What about shop B? The square block, so that is 250. 2017 the square block is at 200, so that means shop B sold 200 units in 2017, right? So that's how I read the line graph. See, the advantage of this visual graphs is this. If I ask you, what is the difference of, the highest number of units sold by shop A and the least number of units sold by shop B? See, the shop A graph is this blue line, which I've sort of dominated with the green now. Where should I see the highest? The one at the top, right? These are all not higher than this. Very easy to pick this point rather than looking at all the values here. 300, 250, no, 300 is greater. 300, 400, 400 is greater. 400, 200, 400 is greater. 400, 100, 400 is greater. This is how our brain will actually calculate, even though you sort of look at all the values, the way it processes this. 300, 250, 400, 200, 100, yeah, 400 is the largest. How do I understand this? I'll keep looking at all of that in a faster way to pick this. But visually, it's much easier for me to see which one is the one at the, at the topmost position in the y-axis. So this point, so this should be 400 is my highest. And what is the least for shop B? This, because this is the point at the deeper most point for the, shop B. So that should be 150. So it's easy to do 400 minus 150 for visual graphs. There are many advantages, For example, if I say for shop B, for how many years am I seeing a positive growth in sales over the last year? I will say 2 years. How? This year grew from this year, positive growth, drop, and then again growth. For 2 years, 2019 and 2016, I am seeing growth over the last year, which is very easy to see visually. If you see here, 250 to 300 growth, 300 to 200 no growth, 200 to 115 again decline, 150 to 400 growth. So I see two growths. See, it's gonna take you a bit of time to look at these values. So visual graphs have many advantages to read and interpret the data faster and make good sense of it if you have the habit of reading the graphs. So start pushing yourself to read the visual graphs and sort of interpret them faster rather than trying to convert the data points one by one and make it like a table. I see most of the students trying to solve questions in line graphs, etc., by sort of making a table first. The line charts or bar graphs, etc., they sort of first create a similar table like this, right? So this line graph they'll convert into this, and then they sort of pick it from this to calculate. That's sort of lot of time being wasted and not of much use. So please do not do that. Push yourself to solve the questions directly from the graph itself. So sometimes what happens, you see a variant like this, the line graph with multiple y-axis. You see here revenues in millions, and this is profits in millions. Why am I seeing two y-axis? You see the values 1000, 2000, 3000, they are much larger than 10, 20, 30 millions. So how can I plot them in one y-axis, right? If I plot in one y-axis, if this is 1000, 2000, 3000, to put 2000 somewhere here, okay? Where will 10 be coming? Will be very, very small. 10, 20, all of them look like a straight line. Even though 10, 20 is minor up and down, you would not see them in such a scale. That's the reason why we'll have two axes. One is on here, one is on here, where you'll get to see two different titles. So it says profits and revenues. So profits is the square block orange. For company E, the profit is 30. For company E, what is the revenue? 5000 millions. Now that's how I read. Revenues are read to the red to the left and profits are read to the Y. So what's the profit for company C? That is around 15, right? What about the revenue for company C? Somewhere 2500, something like this, right? So these graphs are slight variant to the line graphs. If you see this, we were talking about two data points or two variables like shop A, shop B sales. That's why if the question was only talking about shop A, I would have drawn only one line graph. You might see two line graphs. Slight variant to that is this, where I see two variables like revenues and profits. Moreover, they are of two different scales. That's why I have to show two different y-axis. So the one to the right should be read in the, if I am reading for profits, I should only look at the right side of the y-axis, right? I should not look at this blue diamond to this side, right? That's absolutely wrong, because the blue diamond is revenues and that should be looked to the left side of the y-axis.